I used to think of the Junction as being an extension of my living room, really. I supported the venue group, used to go to the gigs, and then I was asked to go with Jim and model for the campaign poster. So they asked us to get up early. I remember that bit, because I didn't like getting up early. I was living in the housing co-op at the time on Argyle Street. And we got dressed up. I remember exactly what I was wearing, a very 80s hot pink dress. And I was dressed up to go out at night, but in the daytime. I think it was a Saturday. And then they chose a picture of our heads, which I thought was kind of stupid, because we were all dressed up. And it said all dressed up and no place to go. And yet it was a picture of our heads. But whatever. And, I guess I was 19. One of my favorite memories is getting my friend Lydia, who was in London training to be a barrister at the time. And she came to stay at the co-op. And we used to walk along the railway line to get to the Junction, which you could do at that point. And she was like, I can't get in trouble. I'm training to be a lawyer. It will ruin my life. And I was like, no, it'll be fine. Just like, just come along. And I was taking the piss, and I was like dancing and singing on the railway lines and going, la-di-da-di-da. And then we hear, stop, police. And we got caught. And this was exactly what she was worried about. And I was like, no, we don't get, we're good girls. What are you talking about? Oh, my God. And we made up names. And I remember I said my name was Sophie Baird or something. It was like the name of some guy that I was possibly dating. And then she took the piss out. No, Bonsu, that was it. Henry Bonsu. And she took the piss out of me because she was like, oh, you're going to marry Henry. And anyway, it was fine. Nothing ever happened because we gave fake names. I used to go to Good Times, like every Good Times. That was really my place. And I used to have a party at my house nearly every single Good Times. I had a sound system. I had 2 kids. So the babysitters, who were great, I never paid for babysitters. I have no idea how I got away with that. But most of the people that I was hanging out with, they didn't have kids. And so the babysitters would be there. And I'd come to the Junction and then get home for like 3. And then the babysitters could go. And I wanted to keep partying. So I would get the DJ that had been playing that night. They would come back to my house. And I had a sound system. My partner was Demi, who was a Cambridge muso. At that time, he wasn't my partner anymore, but I had like muso stuff. So I had speakers, and I had very, very loud speakers. And when I came back to Cambridge to visit, 10 years after I'd left, I met people I had never known that said to me I was a legend. They'd heard about my parties, which I thought was very, very funny. Fela Kuti, when I was visibly pregnant, so maybe 7 months pregnant with my daughter Maya, who was born in the April, if that helps. And I went by myself, and my husband stayed at home, and I was dancing like a mad woman. And this older African gentleman was dancing near me, and maybe halfway through the gig I stopped dancing, and he was like, why did you stop dancing? Come on. I'm like, look at me, I'm pregnant. He's like, so we started talking, and he said that I was going to have a boy. I'm pretty sure he said I was going to have a boy, and I was like, I don't think so. But anyway, it turned out that he went to Edinburgh University and studied medicine with Fela Kuti. And he'd known him for a very long time, and at the end of the gig, he took me backstage to meet him. And Fela Kuti was on a throne. He was literally on this wooden throne thing, and this is backstage. He's being carried around on this throne, and there were loads of women on stage, and one young girl who was about 10. All the women were his wives, apart from this girl, and she messed up a little bit, and she was so cute, and she was really upset. I felt so bad for her, because she made it a little mistake, but she looked amazing. So when I went backstage, I was the only woman backstage, apart from his daughter, who was not his wife. And they put him down on his throne, and I was presented to him, and I had to bow down and kiss his hand. And I remember afterwards people being like, oh, that's so weird, you kissed his hand. And it's this is a culturally different thing that's going on. I mean, I'm Haitian, And there's different things that you do in Haiti. I'm not sure about the throne carrying stuff, but it was an amazing show. And I guess this is, I don't remember how long, maybe it's a few years before he died. Well, obviously it's before he died. Anyway, another one.